For us in the communication department, it was an unexpected visit, but one that we thoroughly enjoyed, as we witnessed firsthand the satisfaction on the Prime Minister's face as he toured the project. Accompanied by the IADC's CEO, Dr. Rudy Matthias, Chief Project Engineer Jeffrey Cato, Consultant Engineer Leonardo Perez, and other officials from the IADC, his first stop was at the site of the stone crushing plant, where the crushing of stones is underway in preparation for the laying of the runway base, among other things. It was a happy occasion as hard-working Cubans, Vincentians, and our Chinese advisor, who hails from the company from which the crusher was bought, beamed with excitement to see the head of government visiting them. From here, it was over to the passenger terminal, where work on that part of the project is now more than 50% complete. Prime Minister Gonsalves was taken to every part of the terminal building with explanations from Dr. Matthias and OECC officials as we went along. It was the first time that the Prime Minister, who until then had only viewed the terminal building from outside, was going inside, and from all indications, he was more than happy to see the tremendous progress being made there. Following the tour, we spoke with the Prime Minister and Dr. Matthias about what they had just seen. Dr. Gonsalves, you have been touring the site. We start first at the stone crushing plant.
Yes.
What are your impressions of what you have seen at the stone crushing plant?
Oh, it's a state-of-the-art plant. I think persons who have been accustomed before 1984, when we had government stone crushing plants, they wouldn't believe this one. This one is pouring out 5 different grades of stone at the same time, the product, and it's highly computerized. It's just fascinating to watch. I'm very impressed with the work attitude of the persons who are there. I was fascinated by a couple of things. These are personnel matters. First, the gentleman who is here from Shanghai, mainland China, from the company from which the International Airport Development Company purchased the stone crushing plant, that he's here working along with the Cubans and the Vincentians to see the plant operate, and to see that he speaks only Mandarin. He's now learning a smattering of English. But it is a young lady from Vermont who has been hired by the IADC to translate. She having just graduated from a university in Taiwan after being in Taiwan for 5 years. She's very fluent in Mandarin. That is something where we see the education revolution tying specifically with the production apparatus. In this case, the production apparatus at the airport in relation to the stone crushing plant. That's one. Secondly, anyone who has any doubts about Cuba's commitment to this project would see not only by the extent of the assistance in personnel, but the quality of the personnel. Professor Leonardo Perez is legendary now in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But the person whom Cuba has sent to head the whole industrial plant, the stone crusher, and then when early in the new year we get the concrete batching plant and the asphalt plant, is someone who is currently doing a PhD in the area of concrete, and who was a minister of construction. You notice the serious quality of the people, and he's heading this overall operation because Cuba knows that this is a vital area, and we ask for highly qualified people and serious people. And notice at the level at which they have sent us. It's like sending. You have a minister who is highly qualified in a particular area, who is being sent from St. Vincent to head a brigade of workers from St. Vincent in relation to technical matters. It's a remarkable story. And I see these subsets of stories under the large ones, obviously, of building the international airport. I was also fascinated to get a detailed description from the professor about the breakwater which would be built with some of the stones from the hill, the big mountain at the entrance, and on which approach lights would be posted so that you can actually, in that way, not lose any length of the runway, because you can go out 150 meters with the breakwater to put lights in it, because when the approaching planes come, they know that the landing strip is closer to them than if you put the first set of lights only on the landing strips, on the landing strip. But it would have the other effect. Rudy tells me he learned to swim there, but it's a very rough place. But if you have the breakwater, you'll be able to swim inside of the breakwater and make the whole area much calmer. So in addition to doing those works, we would be adding to the facility for the people in Stubbs, and also for tourists who may want to go there and use the beach down at Stubbs with a breakwater and take in some of the roughness of the seas. Here at the terminal building, I was using the number 40%, that is 40% complete. I was corrected by the Taiwanese contractors here, who said it's now 50% complete, and they're on target for September next year completion. It's a beautiful building. I used to stay on the outside. I wanted it to reach a particular stage before I started to tour it, and now I've toured it, and it's a beautiful building, well designed, and I'm looking forward to the finished product. We see the extent of the preparation which is taking place. They're ready really for the base material for the pavement, and I noticed, and Rudy has advised me, Dr. Matthias has advised me, that before the end of this year we are going to move the machine, the workshop, because that area now has to be bulldozed. They served its purpose for a particular number of years, and we're going to put it somewhere. It's easy to move. So I notice all the pieces are falling together, and a platform site is prepared for the storage of all the materials to be used for the pavement. When I see the stone crusher, and I know the asphalt plant is coming and the concrete batching plant, you just imagine what this is going to do to road construction in St. Vincent and the Grenadines when we are finished with the airport. So I'm just asking persons who have a lot of complaints about roads, just bear with me as I patch some, as I put, as I stabilize some. In some of them I resurface, but there would be a program, the likes of which this country has never seen, when we are finished with the international airport, because we have the equipment, the concrete batching plant, the asphalt plant, we'll have the stone crusher, all of them state of the art. We'll have the trucks, we will have highly qualified people, and we're working out arrangements to get asphalt out of Trinidad and out of Venezuela on special terms. It's all fitting in well, and when you have a vision and you see things are falling in place, I just ask our resilient people, bear with this government which has delivered so much. We have more to deliver, and I make that promise on the second anniversary of our third term in office. Thank you.
Dr. Matthias, I have seen the stone crushing plant in action for the first time this morning. I knew that they had trial runs and they were crushing up to Monday. From what you have seen, well, you can give me your impressions from what you have seen, and also now that we have begun the stone crushing process, what is the way forward? Where do we go from here?
Well, first, let me welcome our beloved Prime Minister to our site. And we are delighted that he is happy with the progress that we have made so far. We are on track to start actual pavement works this month. The first part of the pavement works is, of course, to lay the base for the runway and the apron. And while we do that, we are in the process of negotiating to buy the asphalt plant and the concrete batching plant that we are going to need to do the final pavement works. You must remember also that recently we signed a loan with the CARICOM Development Fund for $3.26 million, $8.83 million. And that loan is to help us acquire the other equipment that we need to support the concrete and the asphalt plants, as well as the stone crushing plant. Now we expect those equipment to be available to us early in 2013, so that when we have all of the plans and these equipment on hand, then we can start in earnest to do the final pavement works. But first, of course, we have to lay the base, and the crushing plant that we have here and the other equipment that we already have bought are going to be starting the process in December of laying the base for the final pavement works. The terminal building is going well, and they are on track to finish by September next year. And I have no reason to think that the other parts of this great big puzzle will fall into place so that we can complete the construction works by next year. Of course, we still have about 4 or 5 or 6 months in 2014 where we will be doing the testing of the equipment, and where if some area of construction remains to be done, then we can complete in that time. But we believe that we are pretty much on track to complete the construction work by the end of next year.
For more information about the Argyle International Airport, you can log on to www.svgiadc.com. You can also find us on Facebook at Friends of the Argyle International Airport, as well as on YouTube at IADC SVG. In the meantime, we want to thank you for supporting us throughout the year. We pray God's blessings on every Vincentian as we prepare to say goodbye to 2012 and welcome 2013. From all of us here at the IADC, have a joyous Christmas and a productive and prosperous New Year.